where there's only you and me. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused, and I take me home. Take me home. Take me Sometimes life weighs me down. I try to press on. But every time I turn around, it seems like I'm up against the wall. My life's upside down. I need to rest away from all life's mess in your secret place. Say there's only you and me. I don't know what to do. I'm so confused, and I need take me to your secret place. Take me to your secret Take me to
Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, all right. We love y'all.
Hey.
Okay, so first thing I want y'all to do is share the live. And for all of my lovely guest speakers, you all can share now too. And so you want to actually share the live link, or you can do the @ symbol and tag your friends. Whoever needs to know a little bit more about credit repair, it's time to tag them. It's time to share. And then when you comment, all right, and so when you comment, you'll be entered into a chance to win some free giveaways. All right, we're giving some stuff away, so we're gonna do it all throughout for those who comment. And as you comment, it's gonna come across the screen so that we can interact with you all. And so comment. It might prompt you to allow StreamYard to show your name and your picture. And if you're watching from YouTube, I'll see that as well, okay? Because we're streaming in multiple places. And some of you might be watching it on my Inez K. Jones Facebook page or my personal page. And so thank you for joining. Thank you for being loyal. All right, there we go. Tip is on. Hey, thank you. Yes, keep the comments coming. Let us know you're here. If you have questions, type the questions so we can make sure we get to it in our time today. And so we have a fantastic lineup. Okay, I brought some heavy hitters, y'all. Okay, I brought some heavy hitters. And so I'm actually going to let them introduce themselves real quick. And so we're going to start with Mr. Rod McInnes. Hello, bro.
Hey, how you doing, Inez? Yeah, my name is Rod McInnes, Vice President of Financial Education Services, and I'm here to just kind of share some information. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. Okay, go ahead if you want to introduce yourself. And this is one of my stars, okay, Miss Shyla.
Hello. So I'm so excited to be here. Good evening, everyone. My name is Shyla Bassey, based here in Gilbert, Arizona, but I'm an executive sales director. Super excited to share about what we're doing to help people across the country. So super glad to be here.
Yes, thank you. And next up, I got another soror, the fantastic Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated is Miss Lauren.
Hi, soror. Thank you so much for having me. Absolute blessing. My name is Lauren. I am a regional sales director with the company. Super excited to be on here. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm excited for what's in store for this evening.
Yes. And last but definitely not least, my family, my cousin, Mr. Mark Christmas.
Hey, how you doing, cousin, family? Really excited to be here.
Wait a minute, we can't hear you.
You can't hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I
No?
can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They said they can hear me. All right,
Oh,
perfect.
you hear him? Okay,
Yeah,
it's just
okay.
me. All right, go
Great,
ahead, Mark.
great.
I'm sorry.
Great. So, I'm Mark Christmas. I'm the director of holistic wellness at the NIA Center. The NIA means purpose and intention. And so we're here to help you support you in living your purpose. And when we say holistic wellness, we mean everything from your energy, your health, your wealth, right? And so all things you, particularly that we're going to talk about financial wellness tonight. And I'm really excited to share the time and space with everyone. Thank you for inviting me, Inez.
Uh-oh.
You're muted.
There we go.
Hey, there we go. Let's get this show on the road. Y'all hear me now? All right.
Yes.
And so listen, let me know if y'all have questions about credit repair and just financial questions. You all can type them across and we'll get to them as we go. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to dive right in, okay? And so first and foremost, my question for the panelists is I would like for you to share your why for working in the credit repair industry. All right, and we'll go in that same order for all of our questions. So we'll go Rod, Shyla, Lauren, and Mark, okay?
Got it.
All right. So that's a very good question. So I'm an entrepreneur, and one of the companies that I have is a wealth management company. And I was actually working on a philanthropic project with another business partner of mine out here in Arizona. Essentially, we were just trying to help 150 families, less fortunate families, move into homes they couldn't necessarily qualify for on their own. And so we put together a team of professionals to get this project off the ground, and we needed a credit professional. And I reached out to my network, and a young lady invited us to come see a presentation. We went and saw the presentation, and it absolutely blew our minds in terms of the need that existed when it comes to people that need credit restoration in our country. And so we saw the services that they offered, and that intrigued us. And then we got to the business opportunity aspect of it. And we made a decision to go all in and partner with her and the organization to help actually get the information out to the masses that need it. And so we felt like we had to be a part of this movement and get this information out. So that's why I became a part of the organization.
Yeah, and for me, I actually have come from a background also in financial services. And for really 12 years of my career, I worked in banking. And last year, I just had a really significant nudge to wanting to step out on faith and just experience something different. It's all I've known since a teenager up until my adult life. And last year, I decided that I wanted to explore real estate. Still being grounded and helping people reach their financial goals through home ownership. And, fast forward a couple of months at the beginning of this year, literally January 4th, I'll never forget that day. I was having a conversation with Rod, just talking about my goals as he is a wealth manager. And he shared this phenomenal opportunity with me, and it made it really simple around how I could pair what I was doing in real estate to help clients really with their credit restoration to reach their goals. And that has expanded far beyond just people wanting to buy homes to so many people that have a lot of other credit needs. And it's exciting to be a part of this movement to help position them for financial success.
Yeah, so I actually have a background in aviation. I have worked with a minority business in airport concessions, and I actually relocated. I was recruited and relocated to Tampa about a little over 3 years ago to work for a prime retail concessionaire, national corporation within the industry. So I've just always, even being working with a large corporation, I still always thought about the small businesses and, quote unquote, the little guys, right? And so in March, I actually was furloughed because the aviation industry has taken a serious tank, like 95%, right? So Shyla actually told me about this opportunity, and timing was just absolutely perfect. And I was like, all right, let me try my hand at it. So I got into it for a little bit different of reasons than the two of them, but it has been an absolute blessing. I didn't realize how much of a need this service was, because it goes so much, further beyond credit restoration, but truly being able to help people. And that's like my biggest passion. So it's been an absolute blessing. And yeah, like I'm excited. I wake up every day super excited, which is something that I always didn't always get being in corporate America.
Awesome. So my name again is Mark Christmas, and really what attracted me to this particular business, I believe in looking to create win-wins, opportunities where individuals can really live their highest and best lives, whatever that is for them. And I understand, I went to Florida A&M University for undergrad and MBA, majored in accounting and finance, and credit wasn't a lot of things that we talked about. We did have a consumer credit class. However, I remember having that credit card from college, running my credit up, and for 7 years, even though I was working with Procter & Gamble at the time, I couldn't even go to Best Buy and get a stereo system. And so I didn't understand that there were ways that we could move in the world that would support us in saving money on our mortgages, saving money on car notes, or two of the bigger expenses of people's lives. But in particular, as I started, talking with Rod, due to COVID, right? Thank you for that. We were in a group with another friend of ours, Walt Bond, who is organizing a conversation much like this. And Rod says it's a good time for credit repair. As I followed up with Rod about that, really got to understand like the 68 million Americans a year ago who had credit scores under 700, and really just the impact on that. And, much like we would hear in the news around the disproportionate number of folks that look like us who are being affected by things like COVID, right? Such is with credit, right? In the finances. So we're paying more for our cars, or we can't get credit, or when we get it, we pay a whole lot for the money we get, And so I thought the idea of helping people understand that, $800 a month is real money that they could take because they've got a great credit score and put that towards something else. And so I wanted to share that message with as many people as possible. I think Inez is coming right on back. Yep.
Right.
Hey, yeah, I'm here. All right. I had to switch headphones, okay? Because now I can hear you, Mark. For some reason, I wasn't hearing you. I heard everybody but you. Listen, we live. We roll with the punches, okay? I keep it moving. So our next question is, why do you feel credit repair is important? And we're going to keep the same order for answering the question. So go ahead, Rod.
Yeah, actually, Mark touched on it. And when it comes to getting your buying power back, having a poor credit score causes you to have to pay more for everything, right? It can also prevent you from getting a job. It can just close a lot of doors. And so that 3-digit credit score carries a lot of weight and carries a lot of power. And it's important that people now understand. I think more people are awakened by the understanding of how important that credit score is and managing better going forward. When it comes to getting your
little feedback on your end, Rod.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Perfect. Yep.
Right. No, I was just saying that 3-digit credit score carries a lot of weight, and I think more people are becoming more awakened to the power that it actually carries. And now there's an awareness that you have to get your credit restored in order to be able to get your buying power back, get a job, get a house, even an apartment nowadays. So that's why it's important to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo that, but I just think everyone deserves the opportunity to be able to purchase the things that they desire and to not have to be limited by something that unfortunately we were not taught about in our formal education. And so it's so important for people to be able to, right, if it is buy a house, refinance a car, literally get in an apartment complex, of course, apartment, not the entire complex, but that's another type of credit. It's so important for, as Rod said, to get purchasing power back, because we all deserve that opportunity to be afforded the essential things in life.
Yeah, it's hard to go after these two phenomenal people, but I think as far as credit, and one thing that I really didn't truly understand prior to getting into this is how many people are affected by finances, whether it be credit, whether it be savings, et cetera. And I mean, Mark hit the nail on the head as far as the statistics that are out there. And I think with everything that's going on in the world, the most important thing is like trying to understand how we gain economic power, right? how do we gain financial freedom? You know, especially now in these days, we're realizing we don't want to be working every single day super hard until the day that we die and have nothing to show for it. So what do we do, especially within our community, to be able to put things into place, you know, and to be able to have that freedom? And it really does start with credit. An 800 credit score has more purchasing power than $100,000. And those are things that we need to know. So really the education behind it, and then also giving people the tools in order to be successful, in order to be able to break generational curses, in order to be able to build generational wealth. And it's so much bigger than just credit repair. You know what I mean? That's just the small door to open up into so many amazing possibilities. And I didn't truly understand that until getting into this business. So
yeah, Lauren, you mentioned the word education, and so even though I had a lot of education, I remember there are folks that I know they graduated at masters, MBAs, they had good paying jobs, but because of their credit score, they couldn't get a bank account, right? Yep. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm making $50,000 a year. What do you mean I can't get a bank account? If it wasn't for some of the different, probably relationships at that point, they may not have been able to move forward in some of those other areas. As I went on and I was leading the recruiting team at P&G for years, credit background checks are a part of an employment. I worked for professional services firms for the last 4 years here in the New York area. And it is an imperative part of them being able to say yes or no. And so many of these things are being used to make judgments around the type of person you are, the type of person you might, the type of steward you might be, the type of employee you might be, in addition to those other things that were mentioned. And so there's so many different nuances to how our credit affects us. Then not only you say you're building it, then what do you do once you've built it, managing it and keeping it, and then passing that along. So for me, it's really passing this information along to as many people as possible. If it's 68 million Americans that have that credit score again under 700, how many people look like me are in that situation? And if nothing else, what I want to be is a facilitator. My request is that folks just share and hear about what your options are. Clearly, you get the choice to choose, but at least having an awareness and knowing of what's possible.
Yes, thank you so much. Ooh, y'all had some good insights. I had to hold my tongue so I didn't, cut y'all off. But thank you. And we have some comments coming across the screen. So hello, everyone. Feel free to comment. And actually, I think I want to do a giveaway. Okay, we got our first question. Mr. Mark Howard says, I'm in the education business. Specifically, I am a principal of a school. What transferable skills can I utilize or is needed to get in the financial services business? Ooh, that's a good question. Rod, you want to take that question?
Hey, what up, Newt? What up, Mark? What up, Newt?
I'd be more than happy to take that question. I'll tell you what, coming from financial services, I've lived and breathed in financial services all my life. And really what it comes down to, particularly in this business, is that all you need is a little bit of hustle and a passion for helping people. And you can do very, very well with this organization because there's so many people that need the help. Mark talked about the 68 million. That number is going to skyrocket as we continue to evolve and emerge out of this pandemic experiment that we're in right now. We're always looking for good people to expand our reach to get this information out to the masses that need it. So Mark, just hang tight, man. One of us will be in touch with you very soon to talk to you about ways in which we can get you involved in what we're doing.
Yes.
You're on mute.
You're muting. Inez, you're on mute, baby. There you go. We good now.
All right. Listen. I think I'm unmuted now.
Yeah.
So definitely thank you for answering that question. And if you all have more questions as we go along, scroll them across the screen. We'll scroll across, okay? Because my tech team will make that happen. And if you haven't shared the live, we want you to share the live, okay? Click that share button and share it to your timeline so that more people can hear this information. That is important. We want to get the message out. And so My next question is going to be, what are the services offered by this fantastic company? All right, what are the services? And Rod, I think I'm gonna have you answer that one, and then my tech team's gonna put up a slide as well. So go ahead and you can start.
All right. So the thing I like most about this company is that it offers 12 services in one bundle, right? And so the services range from budgeting all the way to what we call the YFL Family Mint. And what that is, with the YFL Family Mint, just so you know real quick, is it's a platform that allows people that have the younger generation in their household to teach them financial literacy at their level and at their pace, so that they don't have to figure financial literacy out on their own like most of us had to. Right. In addition to that, the other 11 services, 4 of which are around credit restoration. That's where everything starts, where we can help people when it comes to getting that credit restoration done. And we're very good at what we do in terms of being able to remove any negative item off of someone's credit report. The thing I like most about the company as well is that we're not about just restoring the credit, but we're about educating you and giving you the information necessary to make sure that you never return back to that poor credit state. So that's where the credit builder information comes in, where you can build your proficiency, learn more about credit, how to manage that score a little better, and move forwards in your credit journey. And then, like I said, we can remove any item, bankruptcies, repos, you name it. No matter how hard it is to get removed, we got credit attorneys that Lauren likes to call our pit bulls, not the cute cuddly ones, but the ones that guard the junkyards, right? They know how to get after people and make sure that they get those negative items, those hard to remove negative items off of the reports. And then once we start to restore the credit and get you moving towards the 700 and 800 club, we have credit monitoring that can start to protect what we're starting to rebuild. Because here's the thing, when you have poor credit, the dark web isn't after you. It's when you start to get to the 700 and 800 club where you become a target and the dark web becomes a true threat. Now, in addition to those items, we have the budgeting tool, the debt payoff tool. These are tools that can help you when it comes to organizing your financial future, so that, again, you now have all the tools at your disposal necessary to manage your new revised credit state. And then we offer a financial lockbox, identity monitoring, and some other tools, net worth, savings goals. Again, these are all in place to help you organize and protect your financial future. My personal favorite is the will and trust. I don't know if anyone has ever created a will and trust for themselves or their family, but this in itself is worth its weight in gold. So I was born and raised in South Side of Chicago, and I always thought that this was for rich people. It is not. It's for people that have assets that they want to protect. And so this is a great service that you can get for a fraction of the cost of what a personal attorney will charge. I mean, these things can cost anywhere up to $5,000 and a couple of $100 for revisions, but you get this as part of the entire bundle.
Yeah, right. On that, can you just expand just on 2 things? One, you said negative items, just for those that are listening. I'm sorry if I jump in, but can you just, what are negative items so folks can wrap their minds? Oh yeah, I got that. Or, what does that mean?
It's a great question. I'm glad you asked. So anything, so in other words, we can remove anything that is considered negative. What we call negative: late pays, collections, child support, repos, bankruptcies, tax liens, you name it. Anything that's negative, even hard inquiries, we can actually get removed off of credit reports.
Yeah, awesome.
I love it.
Will and trust, Rod, I think is also important because some folks might be like, well, I don't have any assets, right? Or I don't have a lot of assets. Is it really worth it? And I don't know if folks have had it. I wouldn't call it the fortune, but have had the experience of somebody passing, right? And if they don't have a will in place, you got to go to that court. And I forgot the name of that court. I'm drawing a blank. I should be doing it.
It's called probate.
Right. And that probate court and then probate tax is no joke. Like that's a real thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people end up losing whatever little bit they have because they can't deal with the probate court. So that's a real thing. Yeah. I apologize, Inez. I know I jumped ahead, but go ahead.
No, I love it. Look, it's a conversation. It was perfect. It's a conversation. And truthfully, one of my lives that I did previously, I talked about, how you have to get your financial nest in order, how you have to get your nest in order, right? Play off on my birds. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you got to go watch the replays. All right. You can get that on my YouTube channel. But it's important. And the will and trust is an important factor. So like when I was like, oh, this company will help people to do a will and trust too. Oh, no. I got to tell people need to know about this. Why didn't I know about this before? Okay, people need to know. And so I said, I'm going to have y'all on my live, all right? Because it's something that is really needed in all communities, right? It's not gender specific. It's not race specific. Everyone needs to have a plan for your loved one and even for you, for yourself. Like, don't put that burden on your family members. Like, have a living will, have a living will, which is different from an actual will and trust. Those are two different things, okay? And so that people know your wishes and that they can be honored, and that whatever little bit of assets, a lot of assets, whatever you got, it could be left to whomever and however you see fit, and get a burial insurance. There's all kinds of stuff, but go back and watch that live. But that's one of the main reasons I was like, yeah, I need y'all on here to talk about this, because people need to know. And I think I saw a question come across, so if my tech team can put that question across the screen. Okay, there we go. Tiffany says, what is a reasonable time frame to significantly improve your credit score? Shyla, do you want to take that question?
Yeah, I'll happily take it. I will say, of course, we help a lot of clients, and really the time frame does vary by client because everyone's credit score is different and the items being impacted are different. But we've been excited to celebrate with some clients to get an increase in their score as early as 90 days and using our services. But we highly encourage clients to stay with us for 6 months to even a year, because there's so much that can impact their score, like paying debt down, right? Having the opportunity to actually get those items deleted from their report, considering there are 5 factors that impact credit. And so with it, being sure that our clients are mindful that all of those play a role, and just getting items deleted is not the only way to get credit improved. So I think a reasonable time frame is to set yourself up from a mindset, definitely 6 months, but of course can take a year depending upon the types of potential negative items that are on your credit report.
And Rob, maybe you can speak to also just the additional services with the Credit My Rent and the secured credit card, because those are things that could boost you in the short term.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to piggyback on what Shyla said before. One of the things that we start to see with people is that, a lot of people come to us when they're looking to purchase a home and they want to get their credit right before they engage the mortgage process. And they get told that if you get your score to a certain number, you can qualify for this particular mortgage. And the one thing I'd just like to point out, to Shyla's point, is, let us fix all of your credit, right? So in other words, don't just stop when we get you to that qualified score. Let us work on it so that we can get you to a higher score, because there's a big difference in that mortgage payment between a 680 and say a 720. It could be hundreds of dollars difference, right? So my point is just let us work the full process and get to the full potential of your entire credit score. Now, going back to what Mark said, one of the things that we also engage in, as we remove the negative items off, we do have some positive items that can go on. For example, a secure credit card can help lift that score. And then we do have the ability to take up to 2 years of good rental payment history and have it applied to your credit as well, lifting that score even higher to help you qualify for all the programs when it comes to financing for a car or mortgages for a home.
And Raj, you know what? You make a really good point too. Everyone's talking about, a lot of people come to us and they're like, I want to buy a home like that. And it's a phenomenal goal, right? But going back to that will and trust, you purchase that home, now you have an asset. And that's even why it's even more important to utilize all of the services within our protection plan, because you want to make sure that not only you're protected, but also your family is protected as well going forward. Because you just, especially with everything that's going on in the world, you never know what's going to happen. And so to be able to have that multiple prong approach truly is really beneficial.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Sha.
No, I was just going to speak on the debt payoff standpoint of building your credit score. I've been excited to use our debt payoff calculator that has put me in a position to pay off debt 10 years faster. But by using that resource, it also allowed me to recently get an increase in my score of 26 points. And so when I was making that comment that there are 5 factors that impact credit, me paying down my debt of course, increasing or decreasing my utilization is putting me in a position to still increase my score. And that's 26 points in 30 days just by being very thoughtful about my payoff process. So to that question, there's a few ways that your score can improve. And that time frame truly does change. It just depends on what is impacting your credit score.
And Shine, it's crazy you say that because that debt payoff tool is phenomenal. And I'm so glad you told me, like, hey, Lauren, make sure you're using that as well, because I had my credit cards. They weren't like astronomical, but they were well above that 30% utilization. And I started using that debt payoff tool just in the past 2 months. My cards are all of my credit cards are almost completely paid off. Nice. And so my score is going up because of it. And that's just like a complete blessing.
Yeah. So, just to kind of piggyback what both of you guys are saying, people really need to understand how that credit score is calculated, right? 35% of it is based on timely payments. If you pay your bills on time, it favors your score. If you don't, it doesn't. 30% is based on the credit utilization that Shai and Lauren are talking about. So ideally, you want to keep your credit balances at 30% of the limit. The minute you go over 30%, is actually going to have a negative impact on your score. So optimally, you want to keep that score under 10%. That's where it favors your score the most. Or keep the balances under 10%. And then 15% is based on credit history, right? So the mistake that I made, I was in Mark's position. When I came out of grad school, I was in $40,000 worth of credit card debt, having gone to undergrad for free on a basketball scholarship. Crazy, I know, I get it. But, when I got out of grad school and started working and paying the cards off, the mistake I made to compound the problem even more is I cut up the cards and closed the accounts the minute I paid them off. I should not have done that. I should have kept them open because that utilization and that history actually favors your score, right? And then the last 10%, the last 20%, I should say, based off of inquiries. You want to be careful about the number of inquiries that you have because they can definitely chip away at the score. And then the types of debt. The installment loans tend to have a more favorable aspect on your credit score than the revolving credit does.
Yeah. I see these commercials, Experian, like, hey, credit monitoring and all those kind of things. But, what are your thoughts on, like, wow, if I've got Experian, I've got a monitoring thing here and I got a different thing that I'm kind of doing those things. Why don't I just stay where I am?
I'll let Shai and Lauren take that one.
And if I understand you correctly, Mark, you're curious, like if people are using credit monitoring with other companies, why?
Yeah, I've heard people say, well, I've got, I'm doing this with this one service that's doing my monitoring. I'm doing this with this other services that's helping me with my payoff. I have some thoughts, but I'm just curious. You said you've been at this for a little bit longer. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. My first reaction to that is it's all inclusive. So when our clients do get a chance to use our services, specifically to Experian and allowing that credit monitoring, you're getting that score monitored. Whereas when you're using our credit monitoring tool, you're going to get an access to see your entire combined score. And of course, exactly how your score is impacted from an auto standpoint, an insurance standpoint, what your hiring index looks like. And truly, it allows you to also create, I love it, it's interactive. You can slide it over and it tells you, hey, if you do this, here's how many points your score will increase. And so I love it. That's an additional really benefit to using specifically our credit monitoring tool. And then similarly to the debt consolidation and using other companies with us, you don't have to pay additional money to pay your debt down, right? You use the tool and the calculator to pay the debt you already have. It's just a matter of creating a strategy to put you in a position to pay what you already have down and not having to pay another company just for that resource. So that's a couple of my thoughts.
No, that's exactly what I was asking. And I guess just to build on that, the other thing that I've heard, there's some companies out here that do the credit repair, and I won't put any names out because we don't need to publicize them. But my understanding, and Rob, maybe you could speak to this, is that yes, there's companies that do this. However, there's some limitations. I can get only X amount of reports a year, or I can only work on X amount of items. Maybe you can speak to that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's some very expensive credit repair companies out here. I mean, I've seen the highest I've seen is $1,500 to get items removed. And here's the thing. What we found is that a lot of our competitors actually work on 2 files at a time, and they have you on some type of subscription, right? the difference between them and us is that we work on everything all at once, so that we're not trying to prolong your subscription unnecessarily. We're trying to get your credit right immediately, because our bet is that you'll find value in some of the other services that we offer in that protection plan, where it doesn't matter if you want to, utilize the services or not, because we offer an opt-out. You can opt out of the service anytime. There's no obligation, right? So yeah, that's really the main difference, is that we can get everything. We work on everything faster and offer you more for less. That protection plan is only $188 to get started. That $188 includes a $99 setup fee plus the first monthly subscription. The subscription is $89. However, we do have a way in which you can get it for free. And the way that works is we have a referral program. So with 5 referrals, you can actually get that monthly fee waived. So there's really no excuse to take advantage at this time to get your credit restored and get your financial life back in order.
And Rod, you said something very beneficial. And Mark, to answer your question even further, is you said, what's the difference between credit repair companies and us? And I think the biggest thing is we're not a credit repair company. And I tell people all the time, we're actually a financial literacy service, because what we found and what the company has found is that 80% of individuals that go pay an astronomical amount of money to go get their credit fixed end up within 2 years right back in the same position, if not worse.
Right.
Whether they saw a big increase, whether they saw things come off, etc. Now, the thing, the beauty of what we do, and the thing that I love so much, is we're a financial literacy service that the goal is not to just fix your credit, but to fix your habits. Yeah. To give you all of the tools for you to truly understand what it is that you need to do to take those steps towards financial literacy and also financial freedom.
Yep.
Got it. Ooh, listen, y'all going in, even when I'm off the screen, y'all is going in. Okay, I love it. Okay, let's go. I want to give away some
giveaways. That sounds good.
So my tech team is going to show y'all. We're going to give away some giveaways. So I have a few people, and so now that they told you the cost and everything, we're going to give some giveaways away, okay? 50% off your startup cost of services. If you want to get started with the company and actually, benefit from all the services. I mean, there's 12, it's really more than 12, but it's just 12 that we featured on that slide that the company offers. I am personally a part of it as well. And so maybe I'm a little biased, but honestly, I think it's about just, like they said, the education. And if you can pay for somebody to help you do things that maybe you might know how to do yourself, but maybe you just don't have time to do it yourself, right? Maybe you don't have time to do the dispute letters, or maybe you want to do a will and trust, but you didn't have a lump sum to pay an attorney. Well, this is a way to get it done and have access, and you're just paying a monthly fee, a monthly service fee. And then he told you how you can get it for free, okay? And now I'm gonna give away a few of them now. And so if my memory serves me, I think Mark, was his name Mark that made the first comment on the question? Was that right?
Yep, Mark Howard.
Yes, all right. So Mark, there you go. You one of the winners. So inbox whoever invited you today, and they will walk you through the steps to get your 50% discount off of your startup fee. Also, I think Tiffany asked a question, so there you go. I think I saw that Janiqua commented, and there was someone whose name started with a D. Let me check here. Let me check the live comments real quick. And so who started? Dion, you watching still? I hope you are. Whoever invited you, Dion, go ahead and inbox them and let them know, like, hey, I won the giveaway. All right. So was that 4 winners? Okay. That's 4 winners so far. We'll give away some more before this is over, but y'all got the comments. You got the comment to be have a chance at least to win. And then also ask questions, because we definitely want to make this a conversation. We want to know, what do you all want to know and what do you want to hear? And so as those comments and questions come across the screen, my team is going to let us know. And so thank you all for sharing so much. Okay, what type of installment loans are more favorable?
Yeah, great question.
What type of installment loans are more favorable? Who wants?
I'll take it. So it really is any installment.
Go ahead, Rod.
No installment loan is better than the other. As long as it's not revolving credit, it has a more favorable impact to your score.
You want to explain installment loans for those that may not know?
Yeah, good point. So installment loans are essentially those loans for taking out a loan for repairing something around the house, or just trying to do debt consolidation or something like that. That's what an installment loan. So you typically get them from a bank or credit union, but it's just a loan that you get that you pay back. It's anything outside of a credit card or a secure card loan.
Got it.
Thank you. Great question. Okay, so we have some more comments. Y'all keep them coming, and keep commenting. And make sure that whomever invited you to watch today, right? Make sure that you follow up with them in inbox and just ask them, hey, can I get some more information? Make sure that if you're watching on their live now, because if they share the live stream, you might be watching from their pages. So that means you need to follow up with that person. And so they can tell you more, because it's a beautiful opportunity. And I'm a firm believer in sharing knowledge. And this is something that I believe is needed all over the world, but especially in our community. And so I was like, okay, I got a little platform here. I'm growing it. So y'all make sure to follow and subscribe at my YouTube. Okay, I got to get these YouTube subscribers up. At Inez K. Jones, if I didn't say it earlier, at Inez K. Jones, y'all got to follow me now. But seriously, like, this is an important topic. It's an important topic. Yes. Thank you, tech team. They own it. Look, they own it. Yes. Follow. And so the next question I have for you all, and I'm going to actually combine a couple of questions, and you can answer them in both, and we'll go in our normal order. But I basically like to know two things. One is, what were your thoughts with regards to an MLM company prior to joining this organization? And then why did you say yes? And what are your thoughts now that you're a part of an MLM, which stands for multi-level marketing, if for those of you who don't know. So yeah, I went right for the nitty-gritty because I know people are thinking it, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions. Perfect. And so here we're going to set the record straight. So go ahead, Rod, and then we're going to have Shyla, and then we're going to have Lauren, and then Mark.
That is a valid question. And you just got right to it. You just couldn't wait for it. All right. So let me start off. So I got to be honest. If I'm being honest with you and fully transparent, I come from corporate America. And, when I first heard about MLMs and people approached me to be a part of the organization, I just never had any passion for it, to be honest with you. I didn't. I mean, and, I didn't want to sell a vitamin. I didn't want to sell coffee. I didn't want to sell an energy drink. It just wasn't my thing. However, when I came across this made a lot of sense to me right out the gate, right? It's right up my alley in terms of financial services, and everybody has a credit score. Right. And so the thing that we like to talk about and think about is that 50% of all Americans can benefit from what we offer. And to me, that became a no-brainer. Now, I got to be completely honest with you. When I saw how this organization pays its agents, that had a lot to do with me wanting to get involved, because this is a compensation plan unlike I have never seen. And I used to design compensation plans when I was in corporate America. So that's what got me involved. I'm so happy I joined this organization. The culture here is unlike any culture I've ever been in before with any other corporate opportunity I have. They're all about servant leadership, all about helping one another, and I absolutely love being part of it. So, go ahead, Shy.
I love it. So honestly, my very first exposure to an MLM was someone sharing the opportunity about Mary Kay with me, and at that time, it wasn't for me. And after that point, honestly, years had passed, and this opportunity was presented to me in January. And for me, there was no second guess. I was not skeptical. I trust my wealth manager. I was like, this makes sense. And it's simply because coming from corporate America, I was groomed to be a coach, a consultant, and someone that develops other leaders and builds teams. And one of the things I talk about with our team now is, we all hear that slogan, teamwork makes the dream work. And with this opportunity, it's literally, why not create your own team to make your dream work? It's really that simple. And for me, that's where I'm like, there's a lot of misconceptions about this industry. Honestly, my question to myself is, I wish I would have gotten started 15 years ago in this industry, because my entire life, it's already changing, but it would have changed a lot more. Open to network marketing many moons ago. But I'm blessed that I said yes, and I'm not looking back. It's exciting to be a network marketing professional, because I really have an understanding of what this means. And yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to start. I had to ask Shyla, like, Shyla, you want me to give the real answer? And Ryan always thinks it's hilarious. So I like never really got into network marketing. If anything, I was preferred client and stuff, just so I could get discounts on like health and wellness things, because I'm really big into health and wellness. But Shyla actually presented this opportunity to me back in January. And she had just left corporate America, and I was like, girl, you out here struggling. Like, Shyla's my successful friend. And I was like, dang, it's gotten this rough. Like, what the heck? And so, you know, it's crazy because you have this preconceived notion and idea. And I was never open to the idea of it. And so when I got furloughed, my original thing was like, you know, well, let me revisit this when Shyla told me about it. And I'm like, all right, well, if I can make a couple dollars here and there to, you know, help the household, then let's do it. Now, 2 months in, I'm so mad at myself that I didn't take Shyla's advice back in January. You know, in corporate America, especially, and this is being 100% real, being a young Black woman in corporate America is very hard. And I come from an industry where I am an anomaly. And so I've had to literally beg, borrow, and steal for promotions, for raises, which, by the way, I didn't get, besides like that 3% annual that everybody gets. And really like had to fight for my position and to show my worth. And then being with this company, I've been promoted four times in the matter of 2 months, and my paycheck is double what it was in corporate America. I'm gonna just call it what it is. And so now I'm like, damn.
Say that again. Wait. Say that again, girl. Wait. You can't say that like that. Say that again, okay? Repeat that for the masses. You said, yo, what?
My paycheck is actually doubled. on any given week is double what it was in corporate America. And so this has completely changed my trajectory of how I now view my worth and how I now put a higher esteem on myself as far as my professional, not only my own business, but just my professional life. And then the fact that I literally got a franchise, a turnkey business with phenomenal support. I get to work with my best friend, one of my best friends, my soon-to-be bridesmaid, Rod. I just met him 2 months ago, and that's like uncle, mentor, dad. Rod is everything. So this isn't
Facts.
I don't call it MLM because it's not that. It legitimately is network marketing, and this is an opportunity for you to have entrepreneurship. I got a return on my investment within the first day or two that I actually got started. Sure. So this is something that the time that I was, an effort that I was putting into grinding for the man and building somebody else's dream, I now have the opportunity to build my own. And honey, like, it is an absolute blessing. So take it from me. I wish I would have said yes back in January. I'd be a EVP, SVP, pinnacle right now. You know it. But look, me up. Because this is y'all gonna stop laughing at my testimony.
Because I know it's true. I'm laughing with you.
No, I love it. I love it.
Is that you didn't get started in January, right?
Man.
And the way you've been killing it since you did get started, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that's huge.
And you know, it's a blessing to be able to wake up and get excited to be able to wake up and do what I do. Because I am not only helping build my own dreams and helping my own goals, but I'm able to touch so many lives and help so many people. I had a client that didn't sign up with me to get started. She called me 2 weeks later and was like, I just got my identity stolen. And y'all, I'm going past my 2 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm on a roll now. My identity.
It's okay. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
I stayed up till 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, my time, to get this woman enrolled in not just her credit repair, but her identity monitoring. Because keep in mind, when we talk about getting results, the identity monitoring, you get $1 million in what's the word, Rod? The information. And that also goes towards pre-existing fraudulent activity.
Right.
So she actually saw an increase in her score in a 75-point increase in the first 2 weeks because she utilized all of the services. So she went from talking to me about how she was about to file for bankruptcy, crying on the phone, not knowing what to do, to 2 weeks later, she talking about, Lauren, I'm about to buy a house in the next year and a half. I'm like,
That's
sign me up all over again. Who else can I help? Because this is an absolute blessing.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that for people and see them, like, so this isn't multi-level marketing to me. This isn't even network marketing. This is truly a gift to be able to share with people that are looking for this opportunity. Yeah. I'm done now, guys. I'm done.
I love the testimony. I was feeling.
It's okay. Actually, go ahead, Mark. I'm gonna have you share, but when you share, and either you can answer it in yours. But how long has the company been in business too? Can you answer when you go ahead and answer the question as well, Mark?
Yeah, I think about 16, 17 years. One of the things is important to know is in many states, the credit agencies are for-profit companies, right? They actually aren't government, even though you might get calls and they feel like they're really an authoritative, but they're regulated by laws. And every state has a law as it relates to credit repair. So it's good to know that. And I don't know if we have the website for UCES, but if not, if we could put that across, that might be great. Robert, you can send it. This is a nonprofit organization, right? And there's the reason it is a nonprofit organization because there's states that say if you're going to be involved with credit repair, you got to be a nonprofit, right? And so for those states. That's a rule, and that's good to know because you may not know that because there's a lot of individuals doing this work, and so you've got a whole organization. Something about scale, right? If you worked in corporate America, you certainly get scale. And so let me get to your question around why MLM. A couple of things. So I've got a good friend of mine. I'll share his name. I'll call him Corey, which is his name. I won't share his last name, but him and his wife. I talked to him when this opportunity was presented to me. I said, "Hey, man, tell me just about your experience." He said, "Man." He said, we became the number 1 and 2 earners in the company within a year. He said, but we already had this fearless attitude around approaching life. We went to school, you got these degrees, you learn how to lead businesses. And we were like, why not do it for ourselves? And we start off with an ice cream company and we'd see these folks, they come bring their kids every day with ice cream, driving these nice cars. And one day we had a conversation with them and they shared, their company with them. And in doing so, he said, man, we were able to make, several hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, this is a black guy, right? Because I've heard the stories before, but I really ain't nobody I know made that kind of money. I was like, yeah, that's just something that's part of the testimonials in the script. He's like, for several years, it's such that we're able to move. They moved to Chicago. They lived penthouses in Chicago. Then they were able to move back to their hometown to take care of some older family members. He says, it's really provided us a lifestyle to take care of the things that are important to us. And I thought that was really interesting. And, Rod said, if you got a little bit of hustle, but I think, if you got and some leadership around like really building an organization like the folks on this call, that really, man, it's an opportunity to have a lifestyle or adopt a lifestyle that includes how do you have your highest and best life, and which money is one form of measuring that for some, but others, it's just like, I don't imagine that 4 months ago, Lauren had this smile that she's having, this energy that she's exuding. She said, well, I'm a Reiki master, I can feel it. I mean, that's coming from her spirit, right? I can feel it, having the excitement.
Facts, I can feel it too, same, yeah.
Silent having the excitement to say, hey, girl, let me tell you about this, right? And getting past that. What's she gonna think if I call her to tell her about this opportunity? So that's the kind of one. The other thing is that, I'm a business professional. I've been in business development for almost 30 years. It's not rocket science, right? And so this is, I work for professional services firms. That's a fancy way of saying consulting firms or accounting firms. Let me just break down one thing. I think this is important. As a business owner, two things, right? One, at this company, after 30 days, if you do come on an agent, you get life insurance, right? You get up to $100,000 life insurance, which for some folks, depending on, how many years you walked, I've walked the earth for about half a century. I know I don't look like that. However, it ain't easy to get insurance the more years you walk the earth, right? And so that's true. A lesson, and this is not about, hey, damnation or hell, rimfire, but things happen, sometimes things happen when we don't expect them. So that's the thing that was attractive. But the other thing is this, let me just do this. If you give me this 88 seconds, about 88 seconds, I'm gonna walk you through this. as an employee for a corporation, right? You get a W-2, you fill your taxes out. The average person pays about 35% on their taxes, right? That's about the average tax rate, about 35% on their tax. Now, it could be a few points less with some, and maybe they've got some other things they're deducting for, but just to keep it simple, we're going to say on $100,000. So you made $100,000, you paid 35% of your taxes, you brought home after your taxes around $65,000, right? That math is right? I think so. Yes, perfect. So now, let's take the person that's in business for themselves, right? And then we're not getting into, can I deduct my home? Can I do? Yes, you can do. There's a lot of things, but that's not what this conversation is. But the average individual business owner pays a tax rate of about, it's 19.5%, but I'm just rounding it up to 20 for the sake of the math. 20%. Now, this business owner makes $100,000, right? Paying 20%, that means they bring home $80,000. So right off the bat, you've changed your cash, your disposable income, $15,000, right? And so there's a piece of understanding, like having your own business that supports you because the way that the system is set up. And then there's other things that can make that 19 or 20% even lower, right? Like I said, we won't get into that because I'm not a tax expert and that's not what this call is. But you can, as an agent of this company, also take advantage of those things. So now your $100,000, or in Lauren's case, her $400,000, because she said she quadrupled her money, right? Right. He's bringing home 80% of that.
Claim it.
So those are some reasons why I think it's particularly at this time when the world is resetting, right? From a number of institutions are failing, how many times we heard or laid off? Over 30 million people filed for unemployment last. Like things that existed, didn't exist, don't exist today. And so as we look forward to eventually the what's next, what kind of positions are we in to really support our what's next and taking advantage of those opportunities as they exist? So that's why for me, yes.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. And the time flies. Listen, the time flies. Listen, we've been live for an hour now. And so I'm gonna do another giveaway. And so another 50%. And I believe Asia had asked the question. So congratulations, Asia. Make sure to reach out to your agent. And then I think I saw someone named maybe Tiana. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. And then I saw Michael. Okay, so those are the next three winners, y'all. 50% off of your startup costs to get these services that we've been discussing. And so congratulations. And then if people want to hear more, so there's two ways. If you want to hear more, you can, number one, talk to the person or send them a quick inbox. Say, hey, I would like to hear more about that credit company. Like, talk to them about this. Let them, share with you and go more in depth. And so whoever invited you, that's what we want you to do. And if it was me or if you're one of my regular live team Thursday thing, my followers, listen, I want you to inbox me. Okay, and we'll get the hookup. But definitely, if you're watching someone else's live, inbox them, to get more information. And so the next event that you guys have coming up, Rod, will you share that? And then my tech team will put the flyer on as well. It's coming up on Friday. I think it's what's it called, Rod?
It's called Cocktails and Credit. Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central Time. So please join us. We'll put the website or the Zoom site in the chat. And then if you want to contact the person that invited you to join us this evening, they can get you the information as well. But we like to have a lot of fun. We kind of end the week on a high note, and we all get together and just share more information with guests and other agents. So we invite you to join us on Friday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Central.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I'm just gonna do my little shout out for my next upcoming live is going to be Thursday, July 23rd. And yes, there's the flyer right there. Okay, so our next topic, and you all can follow at Inez K. Jones on YouTube or Facebook and watch live with us. And it's going to be the 23rd. All right. So next week, we're just going to replay the men's. We had the men come on and talk about the topic of dating versus courting. Okay. And so we're going to replay that next week. So it's fresh in everybody's mind. And then on the 23rd, all right, the ladies are going to come and give y'all a piece. All right. A piece of their mind about this dating, the top dating and courting topic, okay? Because we like it's a serious deal, so it's gonna be good, and I'm excited. So y'all tune in. If you're watching live right now, make sure you hit that little notification button so that you will get notified every time I go live, and so you'll get a little notification, and you can hit that check mark and follow. I think it's a little bell on YouTube, okay, and so that you get notified. And so I want to always put the plug in for the next event so that you all know what's to come. And as we are closing out, thank you for you all just taking your time out of your day, to be here to talk and to share on this platform, right? And to be bold and brave and be live all over the world and sharing. I mean, I appreciate you all so much. And so I'm just glad that we got to talk about some of the things. And maybe we'll have to do another one so people can, ask more questions and we can go in a little more, because the hour flies by so fast. But as we are wrapping up, I'm just going to ask y'all to give a quick little final remark, and we'll go in the same order we have been doing. So go ahead, Rod.
Gang, listen, now more than ever, it's important to get your financial life in order, right? If this pandemic has taught us anything, is that we need to be a little more self-sufficient, right? Get your credit in order, put yourself in a position where you can support your family regardless of the economic downturn that we may experience. Because listen, we can't rely on an employer. There's no such thing as job security anymore. We can't rely on our government. We need to be self-sustaining. So we have a great opportunity to help you do that. And I just encourage you to connect with the person that invited you to join us this evening. And we can get you some more information and talk to you a little bit more about ways we can help you become more self-sustaining.
Yeah, we're super excited that you had a chance to tune in. And honestly, no matter what.
All right, Shyla, Lauren, and Mark.
Oh, yeah. What I was saying is that we're super excited for everyone that did get a chance to tune in. And no matter where you're starting with your current financial circumstances, know that there is still a way for you to continue to elevate. The best thing that you can do is actually start. And of course, initiate conversation with someone that can help you. So, of course, whomever invited you on tonight, we want to be in a position to help you achieve your financial goals and put you in a position to really create the lifestyle that you deserve and that you desire. So, big secret is take action and get started to create that for yourself.
Yeah, they
thank you.
Hit the nail on the head. I think that the biggest thing, and a couple of things, but the biggest thing is, and I can't say it enough, I think all of us can agree that like this is the opportunity to truly be able to break out of the chains, right? To be able to break out of those generational curses, to be able to truly be able to build generational wealth, not just by fixing your credit, not just by learning the tools, but also to be able to add additional income to your household and to be able to truly be able to take those steps to building wealth. And so this is a company, and these people on this screen right now, we are a small, minute fraction of the support and the love and the motivation that you truly get, whether you're a client or an agent with us. And like Shyla said, we can make excuses for everything. We can find money out of nowhere to pay for shoes and pay for clothes, because I've been there before. Sunday fun days, brunches, trips, you name it. But why not take just a fraction of that money and start actually applying it to your future, your children's future, your family's future, for the better longevity of everybody? So I love it. We're here. That's my elevator.
You must have been going to the 40th floor, the penthouse. No, I love it. I love the energy here. Inez, thank you for creating the platform and sharing an opportunity for us to come in and share this time and space together. It's really important. Like you said, you don't have to be an agent to be a client. You can be one or the other. And certainly, my request is that if you're listening to this, you found something that was useful, that you share it. You put us in contact with folks that we could just share the message. If it's 68 million again, that's in this situation at least, then I want to reach as many of us as possible. My goal is in the next 100 days, let's get 100 more that have an opportunity to move forward with this. And then the final thing I'll say is that I love my cousin Inez. She's such a talented woman. You know, former Miss Illinois. That song at the beginning was her own production. She's also does Reiki with me. I'm a Reiki master. And so I just love what you're creating, right? And it just fits right on in what Rod said. It's like, what are we thinking about? Where are we going from here? And what are we doing to not only sustain ourselves, but to sustain our community, especially coming off the black buyout, whatever that was called. You know, please don't crucify me, y'all, if I said it wrong. But show your black economic power.
The blackout.
The blackout.
We
right?
love you anyway, Mark. It's okay.
That is this opportunity for us to, how do we make sure that we're sharing information with each other so that we can make good decisions, whatever those decisions are. We love you, right? It's not a hey requirement to convert or conform, but I want to make sure that you're informed, right? So thank you.
Yes. Oh, this was amazing. We never want to end when it's time to end, but we got to go. But don't worry, y'all can tune back in 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. As you see, we have a diverse range of topics. Okay, so we get it in. All right, we're talking about a lot of different things. So make sure to tune in and watch. Next Thursday, we're going to do the replay of the men's. And then on the 23rd, we're going to be live with the ladies. All right. And then on, I don't know what the date is, the 30th, I think, I'm actually going to give y'all a treat. I'm going to sing live for y'all because everybody kept asking me. Everybody kept asking, like, will you sing this, sing that? I said, you know what? Okay, fine. We're going to do a live where I sing live. And so those of you who don't know me, I'm at Inez K. Jones on all social media platforms. Please follow me. And I am a singer. I have done the national anthem for the Chicago White Sox several times. The song you heard playing earlier was my song Secret Place, and it'll play as we are about to end as well. And so just enjoy an original tune and then just tune in. And if you haven't watched some of the other lives, go back and watch it. And if you're watching this live later, be sure to put #replay and still comment along, because I do go back and look at those comments. And so we thank you for taking the time to be here with us and to engage in this important topic, this important conversation. And honestly, I feel like a lot of times people are scared to talk about credit, and they get a little offensive or defensive. And so I was like, nah, I'm not scared. We're gonna put it out there, okay? Awesome. And let's go. And so thank you all to my guest speakers. You were phenomenal. And so thank you. And we will see y'all for our Thursday thing on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tune in there. And one more thing before we exit out. I'm also doing my Makeup Mondays. So if you didn't know, you can tune in on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for my Makeup Mondays, because y'all know I'm also American Sales Director, okay? And so, listen, multiple streams of income. I practice what I preach. Thanks, okay? And if you're interested, please talk to the person that invited you or whoever's live stream you're watching, or inbox them, all right? Or if it's me, inbox me, okay? So we can get you going and get this happening. We love you and have a great evening. Good night.
Thanks, Inez.
I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. And I wanna be, I gotta be, I need to be in your secret place where I know what to do. I'm so confused.